Anita Hartke. I am your nominee for United States Congress. I'm going to be the one on that ballot on November 4th. I want you to tell your friends, your neighbors, the guy when you pump gas to vote for Hartke, because every little vote out there, every one of those makes a difference. Just like my vote when I go to Congress is going to matter. It takes all of this, all of us locking arms together and getting Governor Warner to be our next senator, and getting Barack Obama and Joe Biden to be our next president and vice president.
Yeah.
I got a letter from Joe Biden last week, and I have a copy of it laying here on the table as you come in with some other flyers. I'm the only congressional candidate who got a letter, they tell me, from Joe Biden. It's on the Obama-Biden letterhead. I'm the only congressional candidate who got that in the nation. Hey, this is awesome. They must know that I'm up against a pretty awesome man, a man who's had a stranglehold on the 7th District for the past 8 years, voting 95 to 97% of the time lockstep with George Bush. Now he alienates himself from George Bush. Now he says, I'm going to fix these problems. He brought us to these problems. People say, Anita, he's just a congressman. He didn't do it alone. I'm telling you that he has deep roots. He has connections throughout Washington, D.C. I was down in D.C. and met with Hillary Clinton. I met with Congressman Charlie Rangel, who Eric Cantor is trying to get booted out of the Congress because, I don't know, he kept his car in an underground parking space for over 45 days. Charlie Rangel's been in there for longer, I think, than I've been alive. You know, and he's a down-home type of person representing the people. What you have with Eric Cantor is he's trying to climb up to be the head of the House of Representatives. And when you say it's only one vote, that's true, except when they know all these other people and they have all the lobbyist support and they are working with George Bush and good friends with Gilmore, and all of their connections are connected, literally connected. He has bought this 7th District like a sack of beans. Now, people need to know that they can have their interests brought by somebody who cares. My name is Anita Hartke. I'll tell you, I care about people having jobs, meaningful and well-paid jobs. I care about health care. I have an 88-year-old mother who just had cataract surgery recovering at home. I had to drive her up to Baltimore to Johns Hopkins to get the surgery done during this campaign. I have a 7-year-old in the public schools. I care about education. I have a son at Virginia Tech, and he, doesn't have time to drive this far back to help me campaign while he's trying to take international and political studies. This campaign is something that's about people, and I want to tell you what this means. When my father was a United States Senator for 18 years and ran for President of the United States, he's died now from heart failure. My mother has a pacemaker too. My heart's strong. I love my family. I love the people of this district. I've made so many friends. But my father always preached this people-to-people politics, that together, uniting, that you can make a change. This is very much like what Barack Obama is talking about. And he has been able to motivate and organize throughout the nation better than even the Democratic Party. He has been able to organize people. And this is tremendously important because the things that Barack Obama says versus the things that John McCain says are totally at two different ends of the platform. So it's the same with Eric Cantor and myself, and with Mark Warner and Gilmore. These things are on different ends of the judicial scale, if you will. One cares about the people, their jobs, their health care, their education. It cares about the oil crisis, the financial crisis, and having consumer safeguards for taxpayers and keeping people in their homes by restructuring those loans. Any of you who know me know I am a real estate broker, appraiser, paralegal, and I know that there are different programs out there that we can handle and change the way that our mortgage market functions by providing oversight to these people who are handling a lot of the money in Washington and in New York. These things are... I apologize, I don't give you time to clap. But we can do You can have basic safeguards. You can set these things up without having to wait 6 months. That legislation for that bailout was prepared 6 months ago. And then they brought it in and act like it's an emergency, and they can't put safeguards in there for the homeowners and for the taxpayers. And oversight, these things, they needed to be in that. I realize that we needed that bailout. Our banks do need to be strong, because if our banks aren't strong, then the United States is not strong when it's looked at by other countries. But let me change this. I'm not in Congress right now. I live in Amosville, Virginia, out in the north part of Culpeper County, and the reason I'm telling you this is I am walking the walk that every one of you does. I am dealing with the same things that all of you deal with. Eric Cantor doesn't. He goes to Beverly Hills and spends $24,000 with the people who go with him. I use volunteers, people who care about my campaign, that are traveling with me, people who are giving me donations like James Ellis gave me just a few minutes ago. This is how I get my money. I need you to tell people to go to my website and contribute, even little bits. I want to run commercials here. Eric Cantor's going to be running commercials. I need name exposure. I need them to know Hartke. I need them to know they have a choice to change their representation, to end the corruption, and have transparency in Washington, D.C. And then when I get elected, if I'm not elected now, I'll be running again. Eventually, you're going to be able to drive to D.C. and visit. Just like the mayor here said, I don't want to ever lose sight and become so terribly arrogant, like somebody else, and lose sight of what's important to the people. That's what the job of being a representative is. It is a sacred trust between the people to their representative to go to Washington, D.C. and take care of those things that are important to them. I invite you to take some flyers, go to my website, volunteer. I need help during the last part of this campaign. I need help, I need money, I need your prayers, and if anybody has a problem with that, look, I need everything. I need all of you on the positive end of the scale. And I thank you for coming here today. It's a beautiful day, and enjoy it, because you got to enjoy the good times, and we can have a lot more good times. And that pursuit of happiness, that's what I'm all about. I'm 48 years old, and I want my children and all of my friends in the 7th District to have a good life. And I think that's worth fighting for.